Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome to Gabe's Reef. I just got done feeding a little bit of food for my fish. He's really aggravating me. This bandit shrimp likes to eat from everyone that he's not supposed to be eating from. There you go, buddy. You better run. So basically, I gave him a bunch of food, and he likes to eat all the food from the anemone, bubble anemones, stuff like that. I put some of it down here. What this food was designed for I was hoping. This is calanus, or whatever it may be called. They're tiny little. That's this creature right here. They're little red creatures. They're kind of similar to Tigger pods. The reason why I'm trying to feed them my dragonettes some of this and the other fish is today I went to the fish store to try to pick up a bottle of Tigger pods, and they did not have any, and they were not going to have any for upwards of 9 days. So unfortunately, hey, he's really aggravating me. Sorry, I get distracted when I see something like that, when he knows he's not supposed to eat from the bubble anemone. I just scare him with this claw. He knows the claws to scare him away, and then the turkey baster actually follows it because that's where the food comes from. So I put some food in the bubble anemone. They ate like about a couple days ago, so they should be okay. I just put a little bit to see if they liked it. So this product is pretty similar, just like brine shrimp or anything. You get any small cubes. I have to use a much larger feeder than that, than this one, because I have to go so deep with the water. I usually have gloves on, you know, because it's so deep. I'm going to get one of those feeders that are really long. Those would be really useful. So what I did is I put a little bit of, I put a decent amount, not too much in the water, hopefully. So basically what I want is the fish to eat some, the bubble anemone, and then hopefully Scooter and the mandarin goby eat as well, and the blenny eat. So that was my main concern, not being able to restock the Tigger pods for 9 days. I've had this tank for 8 weeks, and I've put 6 bottles of Tigger pods in there. I'm not sure if they're reproducing is the issue. I haven't seen that many. I've tried looking at night with a light, and honestly, I've not seen any. So I don't know if they're eating them all, or if they're hiding and reproducing, and they're coming out a little bit at a time. I'm not sure exactly how much he's eating, and particularly that one is really large. He's about 2.5 inches or so, maybe close to 3. So I'm really worried about him. He's smaller. You know what I mean? He's not going to eat as much, obviously, but I'm just worried that they're not getting enough food. So I'm trying to feed him this. I know it does take a while to get used to eating frozen shrimp, and you have to be patient. You have to kind of train them, and they basically run out of Tigger pods, and then they have nothing to eat, and then they finally, you know, have to eat the frozen food if they want to survive. So I'm hoping they take a liking to this frozen food. I'm hoping they slowly enjoy it, you know, and see that it's not that bad. Obviously, probably over the live Tigger pods, they're probably going to prefer the Tigger pods. So as long as they're in here, honestly, probably not going to eat the frozen food. I'm hoping I don't need to feed the frozen food. I'd prefer to basically let them eat the Tigger pods, and then hopefully that's enough. I'm going to continue to stock them. It's just I can't get them for a while. Online, I saw them. They're probably double the price, and I'm not sure the quantity or how many is going to be alive when you actually get them delivered to you. So I'm really iffy about that. I'm going to see if they don't happen to eat in the next few days this frozen product right here. I'm going to end up having to, I guess, order them. I was just hoping they would, you know, eat this. I'm going to stick this back in the freezer because I actually had this out for a little while. So just keep it frozen. This is the brand. And I'll let you guys know more of the results. I know it can take a few feedings before they either take a liking to it or don't like it. I still, you know, have the Midas shrimp, the brine shrimp, Midas shrimp, the brine shrimp. Keep all those products there, frozen, obviously. The tank is pretty clean. I did a water change yesterday and got most of the rid of the hair algae that was in the tank. There's a little bit of algae on the side of glass here and there. I could brush that and scrape it. Not too worried about that right now. Predominantly, I want to get rid of the hair algae because there was a lot. If you see my previous videos, I guess it's okay if he cleans like some dead shrimp and, you know, other things that can rot in the tank that maybe the corals won't eat, or they might eat, I'm not sure, depending on what coral it is. You know, I guess there's a plus side if he happens to find any, you know, any bubble algae or something like that. That's what he's designed for. That's what he's supposed to get rid of and eat. Hopefully he's doing that. I haven't seen much bubble algae, but either he's doing his job or I just don't have any. Let's see. Especially with him eating all this shrimp and stuff, he probably wouldn't even focus on it anyways. So I need to kind of watch how much food I put in here. The main important thing is to not overfeed your tank. Sometimes I feed a lot. I've been trying to cut it down, and especially now, I take the filter out every couple of days so I don't leave, you know, whatever it doesn't get eaten gets sucked up into the filter. And then if you leave it there for a few weeks and let the food rot, it's the same as leaving it in the tank. So you might as well pull your filter out, rinse it with some cold water. Be gentle, especially with these coral life filters. They'll fray and just kind of peel up. If you want to make something to where you keep the coral life bottom, you know, the filter, remove the carbon and the cheap little floss that's on there. Put a good floss in there and put it back on top and use that as a floss, and then have a carbon bag or, you know, in there. I might end up doing that. I'm not sure yet. Haven't tried it yet. I might set something up like that. They're very friendly fish, the dragonets are. They're expert level care, to be honest with you. They're picky about their food, as I can tell. That was great food I just put in. I tried many different kinds of food. I think I saw the scooter blenny bite a little bit of frozen food. I'm not, if I was mistaken, I might have been. I'm not sure. I didn't exactly see. I kind of saw him pecking at something. That could have been a Tigger pod by it. But and they don't show much interest in those kinds of foods. They want the live Tigger pods is what they want. So I know you can train them. There's some pet stores that train them before you buy them. If you go that route, I highly recommend it. Save you a lot of money and time. The temperature's still good. Only the small, one of the small Ocellaris clownfish has been going in the bubble anemone. This one has become trying to be a bully, or is becoming a bully. The yellow-tailed damsel, when I had him up until, I'd say about 3 or 4 days ago, he didn't bother the clownfish. He wouldn't chase him. He wouldn't do anything. Now, every once in a while, he'll just kind of scare him a little bit, chase him a little bit. I don't like that because they all got along for a few weeks, and then I don't know what has changed for him to act like that. I guess he's picking an area, or is, you know, trying to have his own little area, which he does. He has this cave right over here. That's where he predominantly goes in, as you'll see. That's where he pretty much sleeps and lives in. That cave right there, it's really big because it actually comes out, I think, the other side and the top. So he can pretty much go anywhere he wants in that cave. Clownfish, for the most part, stay by the thermometer right there. That's where they sleep at night, kind of on the black wall, backing of it. The mushrooms were doing pretty good. They were really big the other day. I did gain another mushroom. These torch corals are getting pretty long. They were so short when I got them. The ends on them were, I mean, you could barely see them sticking up. I purchased it from a local pet store. I don't know how long he ran his light or what setup he had or whatever, but I could see them literally growing, which is good. They get quite a bit of flow there. I'm not sure how much flow they like. I know I usually would probably keep them mid-range like this. Hopefully they're not getting too much light, and it doesn't seem like they're burning them up or anything, so that's a good sign they're not. This kind of closed up because he was walking on it. To be honest with you, I've noticed it does good for a while. It opens up, then it closes, then it opens up. It likes flow. It seems like whenever I turn off the flow, it kind of closes up a little bit. Or when that little booger walks across them. The candy's closed up a little bit because he walked across them, but other than that, they're usually open and plenty of heads on there. I do love that. He's readjusting himself. He didn't like the way he was. you know, the issue with him falling and all that happened. So I'm glad to see that he's doing good. You can see most of his branches are facing straight up. That's always good. He's going towards the light. The Lobo seems to be doing okay. It's a weird color. Ever since I did a dip on it and I used iodine, I don't think you were supposed. I mean, it was Lagoon's natural iodine. You know, I did it exactly how you were supposed to, the time you were supposed to, and this is the result. I don't think it hurt it. To be honest with you, I think it threw a little bit of discoloration in it. I don't think it, like, I don't know if it's permanent damage or, I don't mind the color. It looks cool because it actually is really, when the blue light hits it, it looks really, really cool. I think it was more that color, but the purple's slowly starting to come back, which is, I guess, is a good sign. The leather right here is doing good. So, you know, leather tree's doing good as well. Seems to be doing well. Bubble anemone's kind of small, just where he's at. I don't like where he's at. Hopefully he moves. This anemone, I can never pronounce his name, is doing pretty well. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. There's a few things I would love to change. There's the hermit that has like the biggest shell ever. It's hilarious. He's not even that big. And then he's still hunting for Tigger pods. I think there should honestly still be some in here, considering, you know, in an 8-week period, I put 6 bottles. It's anywhere from 200 to 1,700 per bottle. So there's so many rocks and caves that I'm hoping a lot of them made it to the rocks and caves. And I feed plenty of phytoplankton and other stuff they may eat, like the coraloids. So I'm hoping, you know, they get plenty of nutrition, they reproduce, and keep the numbers up. They seem like they're always pecking, so that's a good sign. I tried the frozen food. Honestly, I don't think they liked it too much. He may have eaten a couple pieces, but it takes a while. But honestly, I might be better off just getting the Tigger pods. But it's nice to have a variety of food for my fish, because the Ocellaris clownfish, the yellow damsel, and the banded shrimp and the emerald crab all ate, so it wasn't like it got wasted, really. They're still kind of scavenging for it now. So, you know, that cube, one of those cubes do have a lot of those in there. If you could somehow refreeze it or only use half of it. For my size tank, a quarter of that would be enough, honestly. A bigger tank, those cubes, I guess, work out okay. Like with the brine shrimp and the Midas shrimp, I have to use like a third. So I pretty much waste quite a bit of the cube, unfortunately. I don't feed the shrimp every day. I do it every 3 days, predominantly for the bubble anemones. My fish mostly love these flakes right here. I tried the other ones, and they're not liking them as much. I don't know why. These are the marine API marine flakes. And then I also bought these flakes as well. These are Terra Marine saltwater flakes, clear water formula. They're obviously made for, you know, clownfish and that sort of fish I have, and damsels and such. And then, you know, the New Life Spectrum marine pellets. These supposedly enhance the colors and are supposed to be really good for them. I do put some of these in there every morning with the flake. They predominantly eat the flake, the clownfish do. I'll see the damsel occasionally eat a couple of the pellets, and I'm hoping some of them make it down to the bottom, and the blenny and the mandarin dragonets hopefully eat some as well. If not, hopefully they eat the Tigger pods. So, you know, all in all, the mandarin dragonet is just a really hard fish to care for, honestly. Would I go back and get him? I probably still would, just because he's so beautiful. I love him. I like the way he, you know, swims across the rocks and on the glass and everything. He's really peaceful. He's just really beautiful fish to watch swim and just have in your tank. You know, I'm kind of bummed out about the big clownfish, you know, beating up on the little one a little bit more than usual. Like in the beginning, he did that, I guess, to become dominant or whatever, but it seems like they were okay for a long while, you know, for several weeks, and then suddenly he wants to be, you know, a butthead. So hopefully he calms down a little bit. I think it's because the blue yellowtail damsel has been beaten up on both of them, so I think he's like trying to assert his dominance again, I guess, with the smaller one. The smaller one's the only one that goes into bubble tip anemone. isn't much of a bubble tip anemone. It's really small. That's kind of a bummer. He was really big before. Ever since he's gotten this cave, I don't know if he's not doing that well, if he isn't getting enough flow or what it is, but I feel bad, you know, because he was doing well there for a while. Gotta watch it. That anemone might sting it, buddy. So, there's the crab, the emerald crab. Hanging out. He's kind of all over the place. And he also, of course, picks everything off the corals. So, you know, dosing him and giving him coral foods and stuff is kind of a pain in the butt with him, honestly. He likes to, sorry, my hand was in the way there for a minute. I have to plug up this charger. He definitely likes to get in the way of things and tries to eat everything off of everything. I do love these rocks, honestly, the way the shape of them, and they're really cool. I got them from a local pet store. He has lots of this rock. It's live rock, so, you know, it'll do really good with, you know, all the bacteria you may need for the initial setup. They're really unique pieces. They look cool. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy with everything. There's my little turbo snails. Kind of trying to clean up the place. There's a lot of algae up there. I know that just because of the amount of light it gets. Quit climbing over it. Every time it like gets ready to come back, he climbs over it. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm probably going to have to go ahead and turn on this power head again, because I had it off while they were eating, but might as well turn it back on, get the flow going. You know, whatever's stuck in the corners, or see how there's a little bit right there. Hopefully that'll blow around and they see it and they'll eat it. So we'll see. They might notice them. They probably will, hopefully. If not, I'm sure the banded shrimp or someone will eat them. So yeah, I've been sticking to just feeding the damsel family, the clown and the yellowtail damsel, in the morning with the flake, and then the spectrum pellets. I put a couple of those in there, and then I just do the shrimp every, 3 days or so for the anemones, and then everything else eats a little bit of shrimp too. So basically, trying to minimize the amount of food. Just to show you real quick, after I fed and everything, and the last couple days I fed, this is what the filter looks like. I'll just show you real quickly. Everything drops in there, and the best thing to do is every day or so. That's kind of a lot of food. I am a little bit heavy-handed sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. You think they're always hungry and you try to feed them. Best thing to do is I'm gonna set up a I'm gonna get this clear cylinder. Sorry, my hand's in the way again. I have to replug this, connect the phone again so it doesn't die. I'm gonna get a clear ceramic, some kind of cylinder, probably plastic or old container or something. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna put it in here and make something to where it kind of grabs a hold of this ledge and sits in there, and then goes about that much in the water or so, and put the food in there, and it just doesn't blow everywhere, and they eat what's in there. I'll put a little bit at a time. They come up, eat until they're fed. Then once they're not coming up and getting no more, move the cylinder, and then that's a little bit more efficient. But honestly, you can take that filter off, pop it right out, rinse it with some cold water, put it right back. You don't want that food to rot and get right back into your system. So I think that's the best thing to do. Always clean it. People say to turn off the main sub pump. I guess I could do that, but I like to, I don't like to have the flow off too long. At least not the main pump. You could always turn off your circulation pump, but I always have the filtration on. I guess I could turn it off, but eventually whatever doesn't get eaten gets sucked up in there anyways. So, I usually leave that off for a little while and then let them eat. He's so cute. He's really little compared to the other one by comparison. So that's pretty much, I think, it for this week. I done some testing. I need to do some testing tonight because I did a water change yesterday. I just want to make sure the calcium levels are good. I test magnesium. I do alkalinity. I only do those tests about once a week. I do the calcium actually more often, just because I'm having an issue getting the calcium up. This tank consumes quite a bit of calcium. I'm actually surprised how much calcium it consumes. Don't know why, but I mean, long as its levels stay where it needs to, I'll put as much as it takes. The temperature doesn't fluctuate too much, 78. So, you know, that's no more than a couple degree swing. This looks pretty decent. There is still a little bit of algae here and there. This isn't really a show tank, so I'm not like particular having everything spotless. I just want it healthy and happy. Mainly, as soon as I started on the flow, most of the green star polyps came back. Like I said before in a previous video, I'm probably going to break off the bottom half of that and probably put on the rocks down here or somewhere else on the rocks. That's not really getting flow or light right there, and that's why it's not doing so well. I don't think it hurts it to break it apart, I do believe. I'm pretty sure it doesn't hurt it, you know. You can pretty much frag anything. As long as you have, like, I know it's a little different for the candies and these, as long as they have the main stem part on there. Softies, that's different, you know. Just hard storing corals, you could pretty much frag it if you know what you're doing. That's the Lobo right there. So that's pretty much it. I like to rant a little bit. I apologize. I just like to show you guys the tank and what I got going on. Really enjoy the turbo slugs. They look cool. The hermits are all on here. Pretty much, I think every hermit's on there. There was another hermit that just changed his shell. You can see the old one right there, how small it was, and then the new one's much bigger. He's around here somewhere. They all like to be on the rocks. That's where most of the food gets stuck onto, is the rocks. And then that was weird what happened with this coral, but, you know, he's starting to grow upward. He's kind of riding himself. You know, everything was touching that bottom rock, and he's growing upward now. I don't like really the way he's facing, but I've told you, I explained it quite a few times. The reason why, just how he fell so many times, and he was so show up, I couldn't tell. But there's the clownfish trying to get into the bubble anemone a little bit. I'm hoping the bubble anemone comes out and grows a little bit and gets bigger for them to really be in there. That's what you get, yellowtail damsel. Shouldn't be messing with the shrimp. That's funny. Yeah, because see, when you get bullied, something else will come along and bully you. So I try to mostly get livestock that's compatible or does pretty well together. They did so great here the last couple weeks, and it seems like the last couple days they've been really aggressive with each other. Nothing has really changed. Same tank mates, same corals pretty much in the past week or so. I don't know. I'm probably not going to add any fish for a while. If anything, I'm only going to do one more fish, and that's a small box fish. I really wanted one of those, but to be honest with you, I might not even end up doing that. I'm probably going to have him for a little while longer, but to be honest with you, this anemone, if you're in a Cincinnati area, I was going to donate him back to the pet store I got him from, or if you're in the Cincinnati area or somewhere close by, if you're interested in him, you're welcome to have him here in a few weeks. I'm going to see how he does. If he keeps growing and just taking that amount of space, and it seems every time I try to have a hard time moving him, clownfish don't like him too much. You know, I'm just worried about where he's at right now and how he's going to affect the bubble tip anemone and stuff like that. So I got quite a bit to worry. I'm just glad that this coral, I'm trying to give you the angle down. I mean, the torch coral itself was so short, like I don't know what you call that, the flame or the part of the torch. I mean, it was like so short, I can't even begin to explain to you guys, and now it's doing so much better. I'm happy. So all in all, there's the mushroom coming up a little bit. It gets pretty tall. It gets about a 1/4 inch off the rock or so. This is what I don't know what it is. Here, this is what I was worried about. Right here, I'm going to show you guys. If you know what this is, please comment below. See that thing right there? See that? What is that? I'm hoping that's not some kind of parasite. I'm hoping not. But I saw one there and one by my green star polyp. I didn't see it on any other coral by any other coral, but I just saw one right there. That's where I think his origin was from that rock, from the aquarium store I got him. It seems like when I got near him with my, I have a pair of long grabbers, not the black ones, but these metal ones right here. Where are they at? I have them around here somewhere. I don't know, it's somewhere around here. But when I tried to grab him, he like immediately sucked in and like pretty much disappeared. So I don't know what he is, but if anyone knows, please leave it in a comment below. And then once I find out what he is, I'm hoping it's not a parasite. So far, all my corals have been really healthy and doing well, and I'm hoping there's not one anywhere else by my corals or affecting them, hopefully. And they move so slow. It's funny. I love watching them. But that's about, it gets a little bit fuller on the backside right there and a little bit more right there. That's about what my green star polyps look like. Guess they're doing okay. They could be better. That one's all the way up there. That's funny. But, so that's pretty much it. He's still hunting for Tigger pods. So hopefully I'll give you guys an update how they're doing. You know, this is for the mandarin. This is the about almost 6th week for him. So he's been here a little while. He's survived a pretty long time. Usually people lose him, they lose him in the first couple weeks. But he has been eating the Tigger pods. And hopefully they're reproducing. I've increased the amount of... I used to give photoplankton for the Tigger pods 2 times 1 week and then 3 times the next. I've increased that to probably almost every couple days at least. So instead of, you know, more like 3 1 week and then 4 the next. So I've increased it basically to hopefully encourage them to repopulate and kind of reproduce is what I'm hoping for. That is so cool how he's in that rock upside down. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of dark, but I want to show you guys. The Danzel's all not happy about that. He's like, I don't care, Danzel. He's all flared up. That's his rock. He does not want anywhere. He's probably not too happy about that slug being there either. So hopefully they do okay. I'll give you guys an update. I've been kind of trying to look at him from the side. It's hard to see, but his stomach isn't that big. That's what I worried about a little bit. Is his stomach was kind of slim, you know, even though I'm putting hopefully enough Tigger pods in here. I don't think there's a formula really. They eat when they're hungry and they just kind of peck all day. So, hey, quit beating up on him. He's so mean. But anyways, that's how I guess they get to pair up. So I could go on videos a long time.